name is Daniel. I'm thrilled to welcome you to this webinar session. Today, Maria here will be sharing with us a delicious CBD Queso and Chips recipe. So it's great to have you all here with us today. We're always looking to improve our program. So we'll be sending out a quick survey after the webinar. And to show our appreciation for your participation, we'll be randomly selecting a lucky winner to receive an Amazon gift card. So please keep an eye out for the survey in your inbox. And then at Leafy Doc, we wanted to make sure that we were providing the best educational resources for all of our community. And that's why we're proud to offer a cannabis health coaching consultation service. So whether you are a seasoned cannabis user or new to the scene, our one-on-one coaching sessions can help you navigate the different options available to you and how they can fit into your lifestyle. If you're interested, you can head over to our website and check out the Cannabis Health Coach tab, or just send us an email at hello@leafydoc.com. We'll be more than happy to help. As I mentioned, our speaker today is Maria. She's one of our expert cannabis health coaches, and with over 15 years of experience as a registered dietitian and with several medical cannabis certifications, she's the perfect person to guide us through today's recipe. So, Maria, welcome. Thank you, and I'll let you take over now.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So today we're going to be doing a CBD queso recipe, and I chose it because it's fall weather, and sometimes it's a good time for sports get-togethers, and people are looking for something to share on a nacho bar or something along those lines, although you can enjoy any time, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What we're going to start with is the recipe, which is going to be listed on the website after this, but it was also featured on the Leafy Mate blog in April 2022. So it's actually an original recipe from the Austin, Texas monthly magazine, and that was back in September. So this is kind of an adaptation from that. But I wanted to go ahead and just kind of show from the beginning the recipe. So this one is, I started with putting on gloves because I'm cutting up a jalapeno. So jalapenos can be spicy or they can be more mild. Generally speaking, if you remove the seeds, you're going to have less of a spice. But if you prefer more spice, you can always keep them in. The kitchen gloves just kind of help protect your skin so that it's not, so you don't accidentally rub your eyes and then have hot spiciness all over you. So what we're doing here is just making a small chop for the jalapeno. This is going to be the size that goes into the queso. So you can, kind of chop it up small or larger, just depending on your preference. And then again, with the seeds, you can keep those in or you can take them out. I went and added in some oil for the pan to start to soften the jalapeno. And you're basically not going to want to burn the jalapeno or crisp it too much. You're just softening it a little bit. And I'm not going to use a ton of spice on this, and I'm just going to use maybe half of a jalapeno this time around. So with the CBD dosing, research is really new about the amount of CBD that would be a typical range. But as far as we know currently, the amount of CBD you should take depends on a range of factors like body weight or medical conditions, as well as the individual body chemistry. So in this, I'm just basically softening up those jalapenos. I think this one's going to be a really spicy one, so I decided to only add half. So the typical starting range for CBD is generally between 20 to 40 milligrams. And that's human studies they've gone all the way up to 1,500 milligrams per day. So somewhere in the range of that 20 to 40 is like a typical starting point. So CBD does tend to negate or tone down the effects of THC. So that is something to be aware of as well as the product. I'm going to talk a little bit about the product here. The one that was featured in the recipe was called Early Bird CBD. And that was something that is actually from Austin, Texas as well. It's a local product there. And in this particular product, 1 milligram or a milliliter, which is 1 dropper, is about 25 milligrams of CBD. And it also does provide 2.5 milligrams of THC. So the THC edible dosage will yield a mild mellow effect. The dosage can have a positive effect on stress, anxiety, and body pain. Good for first-time or very occasional users who want a mellow experience. So this particular recipe, it's suggesting that 2 milliliters are used in the recipe, but this can certainly be adjusted. The upper range for this particular recipe would be about 5 milliliters. So as I have gotten my jalapeno warmed up here and softened, what I'm going to go ahead and do next is add in the milk. So I'm going to be adding the milk and bringing it to a light simmer. My pan is a little bit hot right now, so I'm going to turn it down. So the recipe that it has printed was calling for 8 ounces of the queso, which is just cheese. I didn't have specific queso cheese in my grocery store, so I just used cheddar. And I'm having it because this is a lot of queso for me today. So I cut the recipe in half. And I made a bit of it earlier, so this one's actually going to be a little bit less than half. I guess it's a quarter. But you can always adjust your recipe to whatever you decide. So I added in the milk there, and I'm going to be adding, just keeping this going until it is at a light simmer. So you definitely don't want to burn it, but just kind of keeping it lowly simmering. The product, so I was going to discuss that a little bit further. So if an individual wanted to go up to the 5 milliliters, which would be 5 droppers, that would be equal to 12.5 milligrams of THC and 125 milligrams of CBD, which is still within that range of the recommended starting dose, which is and the upper range. So the starting dose of CBD is 20 to 40 milligrams, and the upper range can go all the way up to 1,500. So some of the effects of too much CBD can be dry mouth or nausea, or upset stomach, drowsiness. It can have an effect on the appetite as well. So and those are just some things to be aware of when figuring out the proper dose for CBD for you. So on this one, I've got my liquid. It's starting to lightly simmer. And I can see the little bubbles coming here. I don't want to get it too hot. The next part of this recipe is basically just adding in the cheese. So if you do have access to specific queso cheese, it's just cheese that has like more spices already added to it. So like I said, I couldn't find that in my store. So I am going to add just a little bit of the cheese right now and then give it a whisk, because it's suggesting that you whisk it frequently so that it doesn't burn. And you would be doing this just bit by bit. It's to temper it in so it doesn't seize up on you. And recipes certainly can be adjusted to whatever your preference is. So if you have a preference for a different sort of cheese, you can definitely use that, or even a different seasonings. This one that is pretty simple with the seasonings that are recommended here. It's got the garlic powder as well as the onion powder in this one. So, and so I'm going to go ahead and add in those seasonings. I've got the the garlic powder, and the onion powder. So after that is combined, it would actually be pretty much all set here. I'm letting that cool for a little while. And then after that, you would be adding in the CBD droppers. So I was going to show that a little bit better. The CBD dropper, as this particular product has it listed on the dropper, the portion sizes, so you can see exactly how many milliliters you're adding there. And then as far as CBD and adverse effects, so basically some of the things that to be cautious around are certain medications such as blood thinners or some medications for blood pressure, and some liver conditions can react negatively to CBD. So those are just things to be aware of. And then as far as storage goes, you can definitely keep this on hand in your fridge for about 3 days. So I went ahead and I made some queso earlier. Oh, there we go. And from here, this one was already cooled, but I hadn't added in the CBD yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then I'd give it a good stir. And then we're going to be good to go. So that is one way of doing it. Or if you really don't want to bring out your pots and pans, you can always just get some queso dip pre-made and then add in your CBD droppers to it. And that's totally fine. So let me take a little bite. That's really, really good. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Maria. That looks very, very good and very simple to do. So honestly, it does, we can definitely do that at home. I think everyone can just go ahead and do that really quickly. You did it in like 10 minutes. So definitely worth a try. And it looks delicious. Wish I was there with you. Share that dip with you. Thank you so much for everything. Until next time. Everyone, make sure to check our events for next season. We'll be posting those online shortly, and we'll be sending those out as well so that you're aware of what's coming. Pretty interesting stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.